100 weeks ago was Tuesday. Wow, there we go.
Okay, so it was 2023 according to Nakeem. 3rd of January, is that right?
Yes, I think it was just after.
I thought it was 22.
No, it's Siri, Ian. You got done by Siri, unfortunately. So we know what AI does, though. AI quizzes aren't always accurate, but we'll back you up on that one.
No, Nakeem probably won't have Apple Intelligence because it's not out.
He's Android
yet.
He said,
he's Android. Oh, it's even worse. Then that's probably wrong. Then
he said, "Thank you, Siri." He said, "Thank you, Siri," in the chat. So
did he? Oh my god!
He did say thank you, Siri. Actually,
episode 100 was posted on the 8th of January, 2023.
Yeah, there we go.
So that was a Sunday. So it probably would have been the.
God, we're so pernickety here, aren't we? Sue, listen to this, Sue. This amount of days are arguing over the year. Is it 22? Is it 23?
We have to be pedantic about our own show.
We have to be accurate. Catherine, welcome in.
Oh, true. Nakeem is Mr. iPad. I forget. He plays like Brandon Tarn.
I've never seen anyone walk around with a 10-inch iPad.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine, we will accept that, Catherine. Thank you. We are very pretty.
Welcome in, Oscar.
Very nice. And Ram's house. We do appreciate it. We'll take any compliment. All four of us will take any compliment. Thank you very much.
Ooh, Nolandic, what did you get in your advent calendar? Currently, mine is still unopened. I am slacking on it.
You are a slacking. Look at your microphone.
Off.
On
our 200th episode,
Ian is absent. Only joking.
Mark is feeling woolly.
And Milo almost had a panic attack at thinking about this week's edit.
I did.
Welcome back to, boys, the 200th episode of Incensed podcast. Yeah, that's right. 200 weeks we've been doing this.
Well, we're applauding ourselves.
I think we deserve it.
And fade slowly and gracefully into the background.
Oh, the long one.
Yes, the long one. Yes.
I've got images like that. Everybody in the live chat, because this is live on YouTube, so are clapping as well. So we like that. Everyone clap.
Yeah, you can actually see it in the chat. People are clapping or laughing. We've got a few people blowing like party poppers.
We'll take
claps.
that.
Yeah.
Digitally. Lovely. Thank you. It is a real immense achievement, and we're trying to do something special.
Clap.
I feel like we've made that joke.
We've made it
way too much.
Let's be honest.
A couple of times is a stretch, isn't it? A couple of times.
A couple of times.
Way too much.
But boys, 200 weeks we've been doing this show. We've never missed a week.
Well, you've never missed a week.
I've never missed a week.
Mark and I, we can't claim the same.
Missed a week.
We really can't claim the same, unfortunately.
Collectively, we've not missed a week. But
does that make me dedicated or just somebody with no life? I think probably the latter.
We'll put that on the poll tonight.
But boys, while we're talking, and it's a video podcast, so let's do it. We have our very own admin with us, HermesNinja, who's more than just an admin, to help us out with tonight's show. So, Sue, say hello to everybody that's listening or watching.
It is so nice to see everybody here with us tonight. How is everyone?
That mic sounds crispy clear, Sue.
It's good to have you on board, and as we said off stream or off camera, but thank you so much for giving us a bit of your Tuesday for, well, something a little bit different compared to what we usually do with the show.
Certainly is going to be different, and you'll find out why in just a minute. But before we get into the show, it is time for the 200th time to...
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your incense.
And if you get anything listening to episode 200, you have to let us know across our socials. And yes, there's quite a list of them. So
yes, so if you're that way inclined, you can find us on Campfire. Have a go at that. We do recommend it, as does Niantic. So do it.
Definitely.
Secondly, you can contact us on email, and that is contact@incensedpodcast.com. Or if you are a member of our Patreon family, you can also use our Patreon exclusive Discord if you'd like to make contact with us.
The socials that I failed to mention would be X, Instagram, Threads, or the one we're plugging right now because it's current, Blue Sky. That would be at Incensed Podcast. But there is a phone number that Ian has in his pockets, isn't there?
Actually, here. That number
On his
is
desk.
our WhatsApp contact number, and it has been used. We've got a couple of WhatsApps coming up later on, boys.
Ooh, smashing.
That number is to store in your phone, record a voice message, and send it to us free of charge over the internet. Of course, you need data, but it's not going to cost you a phone call. +44 759 269 5696.
You can also send us a direct message, depending on the podcast platform that you use. We do know Spotify has got the ability for you to message the podcast directly on it.
So is Apple.
So is Apple as well. There we go. But yes, if you want to use our world famous hashtag so we can find your posts on our social media platforms, please use the one which is obviously hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling for me.
That would be hashtag S
H
I
N
I
E
S
O
F
T
H
E W
E.
E.
K. We got there, boys.
We did it.
It's written down black and white.
I like the fact
Definitely.
that
I sometimes think it's harder when you're reading it.
It is harder. It is harder. We're all looking down at our paper, make sure we got the right letter there.
We don't need an extra E in
no.
there. Definitely don't. But with all that said and done, it is time to jump into our very special 200th show.
Yes, Whitfield, that is right. And this show is going to be slightly different to what you're used to on Incensed Podcast. We have our very own HermesNinja with us here today, and she's going to be leading a bit of a conversation. We reached out to our Discord members, our patrons, to ask them if they had anything that they really wanted to ask us, or ask them if they wanted us to talk about anything specifically. Sue did this completely in private, and we have no idea what's coming. So I'm going to hand this over to Sue to take us through the next however long this takes.
Well, we did get a lot of responses, and I have very carefully curated 9. So we've got 9 questions for you boys, and I can confirm they have not seen the questions, they have not heard the questions. This will be brand new for them. These questions have been hermetically sealed, 5,500 kilometers away here in New Jersey. So,
Safe and
here
secure.
we go. We are going to start with the only non-Pokemon related question. And it comes from our own dear Carrie, Dinkin' Bob's mama, who asked, excluding Jeremy Clarkson, who has been the most influential person in each of your lives?
Well, that's a tough question.
That's tricky.
That is
Yeah, very tricky.
You straight away took the most influential person of this podcast away from us.
I'm going to struggle. I actually have to think now.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to keep it directed at this podcast because my life is a hot mess at times, but this show is quite coherent. So I think when we first started this show, I was, and I think Mark will know where we're going with this one, I was very heavily influenced by the podcast Fake Doctors, Real Friends with Zach Braff and Donald Faison. And that for me was a big driving factor in some of the things we did on the show. But again, I can't take it 100% away from Clarkson because he has massively impacted certainly the way Milo and I interact on the show and on YouTube. But the way Donald and Zach interact on Fake Doctor Real Friends, that really did influence me in the early days.
Yeah, Kerry immediately blacklisted the answer that would have suited most, unfortunately. It's genuinely a very, very tricky question if you take that out of the equation. Yeah, if you take Clarkson out of the equation. So
you could say Richard Hammond.
Do you know what? I'm going to go even more behind the scenes of that thing. I'm going to say Andy Willman. He is the executive producer behind the Clarkson, Hammond and May Top Gear era and Grand Tour, and has been with them, friends and work colleague for 20, 30 years or something crazy.
22 years, I think they've been doing Grand Tour and Top.
But he was with
Gear.
Clarkson beforehand. But the way that things were structured, and that obviously led to how things were formulated on the show, the way the three of them interact and everything. As we know, everything can come from a backstage kind of effort, and that can really influence how something plays out to the wider audience. So, yeah, I'll definitely say Andy Willman, just for the the groundwork that was done on that format. Yeah.
I can see Mark's
live
wheels
chat.
turning.
No, I'm just trying to think. It's how both of them are so aligned when it comes to Top Gear. It's breaking news for anyone who hasn't heard that before. That's brand new.
Not if they listen to this show.
200. No, not at all. Thank you, Kev, for making them have to think about it.
She actually said that in the chat. She's put my plan worked.
Yeah, very good. No, I mean, I'm not going to link it to the podcast because I've got where I am because of loads of other things. I think all facets of life. I've got members of my family that have influenced how I am. They've been very much involved in where I am. I think we are moulded by the way the people that are around us when we grow up. I'm a firm believer in that. Person that I've sort of been motivated for and inspired by is someone that actually wasn't alive when I was growing up. It was someone that I read stories and read books about their beliefs and their structure.
Okay, interesting.
I've mentioned it on the show before. I'm a massive sports fan. I like the idea of when the chips are down, you can find that motivation to come back and still find a way of getting the W. I think that's really important. I think that's really good with mindset in business. I think it's very good in personal life. I think it's good in all facets of life. The person I picked was the manager of Leeds United in the 70s, a guy by the name of Don Revie. Don Revie inherited a Leeds United side, my beloved football team, soccer across the pond, but belief and actually not being scared to try things that actually were really extraordinary and bizarre at the time, actually formulated in creating one of the most successful decades in English football history, with Leeds dominating English and world football for that decade. He got to the point that actually changed the colours of the Leeds shirt so they played in white to replicate Real Madrid, who were the most successful side in world football during that period of time. That is the level that the guy had. If you looked it and you believed it, you could change fundamentally anything about you. I'm very fortunate. I've been a manager for most of my professional career. And I do think that that's inspired me a hell of a lot in the way I think about strategy, getting the best out of teams and individuals as well. So, great question, Kerry. Don Revie
Definitely.
is my choice on that one.
I remember it was years ago, but you did bring that into a previous conversation. I remember it.
There was a couple of messages in the chat that said they thought I was going to say James Bond.
Specifically Pierce Brosnan.
Which one I was going to say.
And then David Silverman said, as a
Sean
Leeds fan,
Connery.
Mark has a lot of experience for when the chips are down.
Yeah,
and then Catherine Chaput said, here comes the soccer talk again.
Soccer.
Soccer talk.
Saka.
Said with your best American accent, soccer.
Soccer.
It was horrendous.
So the next question is from our own dear Chris John. And Chris John asks, if you could change one and only one thing in Pokemon Go, what would it be and why?
Bring back the unlimited remote raiding and the search by raids list, please, in the game, so we can raid to our heart's content and do it within the game. There you go.
After my own heart. And what about Ian?
I'm not going to say remote raid cap lift because let's face it, that's never going to happen. But I do hope and think that they will bring back the friends list raiding, which was the best addition to the game, I would say, since we've been recording.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Fair. Milo?
So, Marky stole what would have been my obvious answer and go-to, definitely. But I will stick on the old remote raid scenario. So,
Of course you would.
the other thing that hit the remote raid game all those years ago, I would reduce the cost of the remote raid pass back to how it was for the pandemic era, because it would make things like the Go Wild area sting a hell of a lot less.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Next question is close to what was just asked, but slightly different. And it was asked by Tony of Pride, who wants to know, if you had to give some advice to Niantic on how to improve anything in Pokemon Go, what advice would you offer? So, in other words, it doesn't have to be something you would change necessarily, but just your advice and counsel to Niantic on anything.
That's easy. Because we've talked about this actually quite recently. Better communication. Seriously. Just tell us what we need to know. Tell the players what they need to know, and don't keep everything back, because as we know, we can't plan and we can't do anything without the information. Just communicate. Talk to us.
There's been some quite interesting ones in the chat. Nalandic is saying a legendary from a 1 week breakthrough would be a nice change.
Oh, you remember when they were a thing? They were a thing.
Years ago.
Very good.
Now, I guess we're doing the whole pub quiz thing where you can't repeat the same thing. So,
I don't necessarily think so.
well, that's the route I'm going to take, because
Okay.
I would just say to them, proofread what you put out, because, oh my
That's
God.
exactly what I was going to say.
Because what was it? The most recent thing. This may be irrelevant if you're listening to this 6 months down the road, but undoubtedly there'll be another hiccup. Is particularly the things that are listed on paid tickets. Just make sure they're actually what people are meant to be getting, not the other way around and going, "Oh no, that's a bad thing. Let's change it." So yeah, better, let's say, execution to your proofreading.
Yeah, Milo, it's exactly what I had written down with proofreading. It was, it's not a lot. It doesn't take a lot to do that. However, as we all know, it's very easy if you don't get someone else to look at it for anyone to make a mistake, myself included. So maybe employ someone to proofread. Exactly, that'd be a good vacancy.
We proved it ourselves at the weekend, didn't we? We put Jewel, not Jewel.
Exactly, that's what I mean, Ian. With that, as
It's
rightly
easily
said,
done.
easily done. It's easily done. Something fresh and something different. They talk about it, but actually really put some effort in making campfire work in the game. Just do something. Get it. So it is the answer to every person's frustrations. Just get it working. So anyone anywhere in the world who's got no community can use it to find a community. And that's all I ask. Make it work. That's all I'm going to say. There you go. You've got it. And the joke is it's there.
It's just waiting.
Been there for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Been there since
Just make it
Seattle,
work.
yeah.
And there we have it. That's brilliant free advice. So if anyone from Niantic is listening, this is all good stuff.
Jerry has said a great one in the chat. So Jerry, you articulate this so well. Fix the avatar faces.
Yeah. Yes.
So now in the inimitable words of Monty Python, and now for something completely different.
Hey.
We love it.
Question from JCST, who asked, if you could choose a typing for the 9th evolution of Eevee, what would it be? I see Milo's wheels turning, so let's go with Milo first.
The wheels are turning quite slowly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've got nothing else to do, we can wait.
It's like, where would you want the meta to go? I think a fighting type evolution
That'd be great.
would be really cool. With
Punching
some, like,
Eevee.
boxing gloves or something. Make it an attack cat or something. I don't know. It'd be quite
Fisty
cool.
on.
Oh, that's
Oh
awesome.
my God, Ian.
Say Stevie.
Fisty on.
Oh, dear.
Fisty on. Punchy on. Let's just make it a bit more
Okay,
less
let's go punch
risque.
Just for that, Ian, you're next.
Well, I was going to go dual type, but I'm going to actually steal Luna Moonstar's answer because this is great. A dragon type Eevee.
Dragon Eevee.
I was going to go water dark, a dual type, but dragon type Eevee
Because
sounds
both those
amazing.
typings exist.
Sorry?
Both those typings exist, both water and dark for evolutions.
Not as a dual,
Ooh.
All right.
There you go.
which is what I said.
I'm picking a fighting
Right,
grass, Ian.
Fighting grass.
Oh, that's
Good
awesome.
job, we're 100 miles away, sunshine.
That'll be the Dutch evolution.
No, I do like water dark, but I'm going to stick with dragon because that would be amazing.
I'm going to go singular as well because I think Eevee. I just think Eevee's always meant. I think with the previous 8 evolutions, they've all been straight down the line, haven't they? I'm going to go for a flying Eevee.
Flying Eevee.
Flying. I just it'd be called Flappy
on.
Eevee. Flappy on. Or floaty on or something like that.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Eevee with wings. Yeah.
Why-
Milo's punching. Ian's is having a bit of a. What was yours again, Ian?
I went dragon in the end.
You'll go,
Dragon.
You'll just be flying as well with mine potentially, Ian. So we could have them both flying together. Just different typings. That'd be nice.
Mark's thing puts me in mind of there was a video ages and ages ago of somebody who taxidermied their cat but turned it into a helicopter. They had like the 4 propellers on each arm, and it was horrendous.
Gross.
That would be what the
think that'd be
evolution.
hilarious.
That's what the evolution will look
Yeah,
like.
you can make a drone out of it.
Yeah, they
Oh,
made
dear.
they taxidermied their cat into a
Drone-y on.
Moving on to Chaz Browder's question.
Hey, Chaz.
Chaz
Chazzy.
asked, what's on your Pokemon Go Christmas wish list? In other words, is there a particular Pokemon or a shiny or a new feature that you'd like to see introduced into Pokemon Go? Let us start with Mark.
Oh, that's a fantastic question, Chaz. Anything new in the game? They brought my Christmas. They brought my Christmas wishes. All came at once last year with Cryogonal being released as shiny. So that's happened. So maybe the next best thing would be a shadow shiny Cryogonal for Christmas.
God.
Don't ask for much in life. What was it? Shadow Dynamax. Yeah, could be. I don't ever wish anything from the game, Chaz. I'm just one of those people now. I've missed so many things as they've come out. I'm kind of like, if it comes, it comes. New thing in the game, maybe. Remove the remote raid limit. Yeah, maybe. Over Christmas for the holiday season. The gift of raiding for all. Share it for the season, the holiday season.
Mark, before we continue, Steve in the chat, Steve Phillips, Steve from Norway says, Mark needs auto gift sending.
Doesn't everybody need that feature?
Says a man who's had 4 gifts in a row from me over the last 4 days since we had a lovely dinner on Friday night. So put it back in the box.
Steve, take one a day.
Shut down.
What about you, Ian? Any new feature you'd like in the game?
No, but what I would actually like from Pokemon Go over the holiday season, and it's not something Niantic will ever give me, I want some downtime in the game, seriously. Because
that was last weekend.
We've seen what December looks like. It's just stupid.
Well, this current event's downtime, Ian.
I mean, this
current event's downtime, Ian. Use it.
Confirm it.
It is. It so is. So yeah, some downtime. So we don't need to worry about making content, a podcast. Not that we're going to miss a week, but just some chill out time.
That's a very tricky one, actually, because which direction do you go to? When you were reading the question out, my first thought was Pokemon Center and Woo
Milo
Jumper.
wants from the game.
What do
he
I
wants
want?
A cashback scheme.
The what?
The cashback scheme.
Cashback. That'd be nice.
I think I have to go global. I think we all want it, don't we?
Go wild.
Yeah.
Go wild.
There's a special deal now. Goodness me. In terms of a new shiny, I quite like to see shiny Citodle dropped for a little Christmas treat.
Ooh.
That'd be nice. The little grey whale, land whale, would be fun. As a new feature, I can't really think of anything except now the auto gift function.
It's a good idea.
That's been a thing. It's been a seed of thought for players for years and years and years, and you've put that seed back in my mind now. So, yes, auto gifting, and just go tag, dump, send the 40 gifts I've got in my bag. There you go.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be beautiful.
Almost like if you've got like loads of more than 40 units, just randomly sends them to 40 people every day for you. So you get like that random.
Just call it the
nice.
pick and mix function. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's some ideas in the chat as well.
What have
We've got Rita Coin said, downtime, you're right.
Yes.
Sanshaw said, how about a Pikachu outbreak every year on Pokemon's birthday with costume breaking out?
That'd be quite cool.
Every costume today, it keeps every year it adds more to it for the outbreak. That'd be fantastic.
There's too many Pikachu. It's too many.
Luna Moonstar said, I just want Niantic to fix everything in the game to make the game work right before they add anything new.
Oh, I've got something.
Okay.
Oh,
I want them to stop forcing game updates during Spotlight Hour. It's so annoying, and it only hurts the UK and Portugal this time zone. Literally 6 minutes into Spotlight Hour, you must update your game. Just wait 2 hours.
It's like Mark's computer.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday.
it's a Tuesday thing, Ian. I reckon there's something. I reckon you've got something in your house you're not aware of that updates every Tuesday, and you
Tuesday
wait,
is the time.
Us poor UK people suffering.
Yeah, jeez.
Well then, we have heard from Kayla McFloof, who expressed her love for costume Pokemon and asked if you could have any Pokemon wearing any costume, what would it be? Let's start with Ian.
That is a toughie. I'm going to go for a Sharpedo with a grey mohawk.
What event, Tyan, have we got here?
For some water festival, I don't know.
Is that festival?
Some water festival.
Fashion week here.
Some water festival.
Yeah. Just some water event.
Fantastic.
That is a tough one. I'm not really a big costume Pokemon fan, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But so you picked a good one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Ian. Everyone knows that my favourite Pokemon is insert Pokemon relevant right now here. But no, Now, my favourite Pokemon is Swaddle. We all know that. I'd love to see Swaddle. I don't know how it works. His body's so tiny, but I'd like to see Swaddle draped in a sports shirt of some sort, shiny. Yeah, that'd be quite cute.
You'd have to change how it stands. It'd have to stand on its back.
Yeah, Swaddle wearing sports apparel. That'd be my
That's
dream.
quite close to what Wolverine said in the chat. Swaddle with a top hat.
Ooh, top hat would be quite
Top
regal.
hat's
Fancy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Fancy.
fancy, and a shiny one at that.
Fancy shiny.
Milo's got to be Chimchar, hasn't it, surely?
That's tricky.
Ian,
What will we put on Chimchar, though?
your personality.
How about your overcoat, your tan overcoat?
yeah, the
Camel
Chimchar?
coat.
The camel
Camel
coat.
coat.
Chimchar.
There you go.
Trico in a camel coat.
Oh,
That looks smart.
Can we get Trico in a YouTube vlogger's outfit with the camera and everything? That'd be quite funny. Yeah, sure. Let's go Trico in a camel coat. Let's run with that one. Shiny
Fashion Week.
Shiny
It's
with
there.
you. Yeah, it's primed and waiting for 2025.
So this next one is from Rogue Trooper, who asks if you could add or delete any feature from the game. Not a Pokemon, but a feature. What would it be? And let's go first to Milo.
Milo doesn't pick the same thing I was going to say, then I'm going to cry after all these weeks.
Oh, you two are so in sync, aren't you? Look at you.
I'm
both.
genuinely drawing a blank. What was the question again?
If you could add or delete any feature from Pokemon Go, what would it be?
Ooh.
Is there a feature that just annoys the crap out of you? That you said, this has got to go.
PvP.
That's a feature.
Yes. Well done, Whitfield. We are now
More
still friends.
specifically, let me delete GBL. I don't want the Baguette League in there anymore.
And more specifically, Master League.
I think he just means all of it. That's what I would say.
Everything. Even Love Cup or whatever goes on Valentine's Day. I really don't like the system. I don't like how it's pulled into features, and particularly I really don't like seeing the field research task pop up occasionally that says win a battle in the Go Battle League. Like, I am going to be physically sick if I keep this in my storage. Delete the Goat Baguette League.
What about you, Ian? Different answer.
It has to be a different answer, but I am 100% with Whitfield on that one.
Same.
And if we didn't all say that, then really why we're recording this podcast for the last 4
Sorry,
years.
Caleb.
Yeah, sorry, Caleb. Sorry, Coops.
Sorry to the two of you. Oh, Home Slice as well.
Oh, Home Slice as
Sorry,
well.
Home Slice, yeah.
and others.
What feature would I release?
Or you can add.
Get rid of-
Either way, you can go
Well, add,
positive
yeah,
or
well,
negative.
We're going to
Okay.
take something away from the game, I think. I don't know if this is too close to Whitfield's, but rocket stops. But the rocket stops do bring some good stuff, so I can't really do that.
Would you say balloons?
They do bring some
Toggle
shiners
switch.
and shadows.
Toggle
switch.
switch. Toggle
Yes,
switch.
yes.
Toggle
Forced
switch.
rocket encounters. Yes. I'd put a little switch in so you can take them away if you don't want them. We're looking at you, Stranker.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, we've had two great answers. Mark, what's yours?
I'm going to be very controversial. Roots. Get rid of them.
Routes.
Routes. Get rid of
Then there'll be no
them.
Sigurd cells.
Listen, I mean,
be
that's
another
why,
way to
that's,
get them.
That's why we should get rid of them. Joking aside, and I'll add a little bit of context behind it. Right, I live in quite a semi-rural place now, and I do love the idea. If you're going for a walk and you want to explore somewhere new, the game can lead you there, but you don't need the game to explore. If you're out exploring, visiting places, seeing sites, you don't need the game to take you to places. Like, otherwise you're not seeing what's around you. They're two very different things, in my opinion. I love the fact the game, if you're looking and playing the game, you find things. Well, I might want to try that out. I might want to check that museum out over there. I might want to check that green plaque over there that says Jim lived there in 1842. Do you know what I mean?
Jim.
Like, good old Jim. It's good for that. But Roots, I just don't see the benefit of them. My opinion, obviously, if the Zygarde thing was such a big pull in it, I'd be doing them every day. And it just isn't a pull for me. And go back to what Kerry put in the chat probably about 20 minutes ago. Guaranteed Zygarde cells on Roots might.
Yes.
Just might.
Yeah.
Convince me to do them.
Yeah.
But, Roots or Routes for me.
From This American, it's Roots. So there you go.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
For all Americans.
Next question comes from Paul Pavnoko. He asked
Nice one, Paul.
multi-part question,
Does this count as one question or
which
not?
I will distill down to the following.
Okay. We've got the runtime, I think.
I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay.
Do each of you keep a shiny living dex? And if so, are there any other types of dexes that you keep? So shadow dexes, hundo dexes, that kind of thing.
No.
There you go.
No, and no. It doesn't interest me in any way whatsoever. I'm not a purist. And if someone wants them and I've got two, and there's two in the family, I'll trade one because I like to see the smile on that person's face. So none of them for me.
Do you have a Swaddle living dex?
We only need 3 for that, I think.
Mock's dex is just Sawaddle.
Yes, I haven't. Listen, everyone plays the game how they play,
Yeah.
but no, I haven't got that energy or inclination to do that.
And what
So,
about you, Ian?
Yeah, I tried to keep a shiny living dex, as do I a regular living dex. I don't really currently make any efforts to keep a shadow living dex. What are the other ones? Gigantamax,
Dynamax,
or any of the
hundos.
others, Dynamax, yeah.
It's too many
I keep my
things.
hundos, but I wouldn't say I've got a living dex of them.
I do keep a shiny living dex, but it may fluctuate in the future. I'm not so sure. A sort of hundo living dex, yeah, just because I like hundos. But apart from that, anything else is fair game. As Mark says, if somebody wants to trade like costumes and I've only got one or whatever, I genuinely don't mind to a certain extent, really. So yeah, shinies and hundos.
Excellent. All good answers. And thanks for asking it, Pavnoko.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
Grazie.
And finally,
Grazie.
Chicken Chaser
Hey.
Chicken chaser.
And is it Chicken Chasers in the chat? I saw him there a
Asks-
second ago.
Oh,
the
chicken
ultimate
chaser.
question. So, gentlemen, I need you to listen up. Make sure you catch every bit of this, because here you go. If you were a Bruxish and you were going into a bar, which member of the Incensed podcast would you want with you as your wingman or wingwoman, and why? Let us start with Milo. I love this question.
This is a really weird question.
So what's the Bruxish? I'm
Bruxish is that
confused.
Because
fish
everybody
that
hated
everybody hates.
Bruxish the other day.
Oh, it was the Pokemon reference, was it? Sorry, it was the Pokemon
There's
reference.
a
I get
It's
it.
just you all
Bruxish
hated
walks
it.
into a bar and,
Yeah,
And the usual...
somewhere there's a punchline.
Exactly. It's a twist on the usual question.
like it. Like it.
I think I would like to see the chemistry between Bruxish and Mark on a night in a pub. That would be fabulous to see. Because I have a feeling that Mark just wouldn't care at all. It's a Bruxish, whatever.
See, I thought the other two would say me because I'm a great white shark.
Are you eating the Bruxish?
Well, you're the
No, but
Bruxish.
nobody would mess with the Bruxish if the great white shark was with them. So, yeah, I don't know if I can vote for myself, but probably me
Of course you can.
as a great white shark.
And finally, what about you, Mark?
I don't like Bruxish. I've got no time for Bruxish. We've said that. Having Bruxish there would bother me considerably. So I would have Ian and Milo both with me as my Pokemon wing men, because if Milo's allergy or allergicness to fish wasn't enough to make it go out of the bar, Ian's predatory attack on it certainly would make sure it left the bar, and I'd be able to enjoy the rest of my time in there with my two favourite boys. So and no Bruxish. So
That's the when you're kicking Bruxish out.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, you
Bruxish is
are the
gone.
Bruxish. So it's difficult to do.
It is difficult to still both of you. And then we'll just have to make it work. That's it.
So you just shove us in. Right, good luck, guys, and he bolts.
And I go, yeah. That's a great question, Chicken Chase. I like that.
Very oddball. Nice.
Do you like Bruxish? I just want to know. I'm curious.
Does anybody like Bruxish?
Look in the chat. Well, those were some fabulous questions and some even better answers. So I think that was great.
Thank you, Sue, for mediating that one, and thank you to
My pleasure.
everybody that submitted these questions.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. They were brilliant. They were fun. And we
Definitely
knew
what I
nothing
was
about
thinking,
them,
but
so
we had
that was
no
really
idea.
good.
Well, as we said, those were some amazing questions. Thank you very much to everybody who sent them. And yes, thanks, Sue, for mediating that. And I tried to coax some answers out of us. But, boys, I think that +44 number has been set alight because we've got a couple of messages for us.
Yeah, it's lit up. So, before we move on with the rest of the show, we have 2 WhatsApp messages for you all this week. And the first one, if I've labelled them correctly, is from a very, very long-time supporter and all-round good guy, JB.
Konnichiwa! Niyaku wa omedetou gozaimasu. That means hello and congratulations on your 200th episode. This is JB, all the way from Japan. But I'm not Japanese. I'm actually a Filipino working here. Anyway, even though I always lurk, both during the lives and in the Discord, I still want to say thank you to the Incensed crew for always delivering not just a polished podcast, but also a very entertaining one. I still remember the good old Zoom days where I didn't mind waking up at 5 in the morning just to see you boys do your thing. That actually made living and working alone in a foreign country during the pandemic bearable. Thank you. I'm grateful that you guys decided to share not just your love for the game, but also parts of your lives. I hope someday I'll have a chance to thank you in person and not just doing it remote. And if we do happen to meet in Japan, I'll find a good sushi and sake place to take you guys to.
Yes.
I don't personally like sake. I'm more of a soju person.
Yeah,
but
soju.
hey,
we love soju.
Japan.
Soju.
Anyway, thank you again, and I wish you all the best. Jamata ne.
Fabulous.
Thank you,
Thanks
JB.
so much,
Fabulous.
JB. Absolutely so much, mate.
That is so sweet. And yeah, JB, you've been there right from the start. And think back, 200 weeks ago, we were recording this on Zoom, like JB said.
Oh, we had Zoom and just, our earliest Patreon member, earliest gold members of Patreon just on the call with us, just on mute.
You saw
that was
8
it.
of us, didn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
just
literally just a
mute,
grid.
wasn't it?
So that's how we recorded it. JB has been with us for a very long time.
Yeah.
We really can't thank you enough for your support, and thank you so much for sending in that message. And yeah, it's been that long. We were with you in the early days when you were getting up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, and if we do come out to Japan, JB, we definitely want
Yes.
that sushi, the sashimi, the sake, and definitely soju.
Soju, 100%.
I think it's really powerful to hear words like that because, like Ian referenced it earlier when we talked about fake doctors, real friends, and podcasts and voices that you associate with like part of your weekly life. I think it's always very humbling and very, very different to hear it when someone's talking about you. That's something because. I don't know about you guys, but Ian's obviously certainly mentioned it earlier. I agree with Ian 100% on that. I've got podcasts and voices that get me through the week,
Yes.
and certainly through quite challenging times. And I think it's nice you've got something to look forward to. And like the fact that we're a nice, inclusive family, we're very, very lucky and very fortunate to have met you, JB, because of this. It's absolutely fantastic, right? And I do want to go to Japan. We all want to go to Japan.
Yes.
We just want to go to Japan. So...
But equally, JB, also thank you as well for what you sent us.
Yes, there was quite the care package.
There really was. It's much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a massive shock when I heard that as we're doing this show. That was phenomenal.
Mate. Saw the picture and was like, oh, what the hell? It's a lot here.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Which leads us into our second WhatsApp message.
Boys. Firstly, it's your boy Rich.
It is Richard.
Dolphin Pogo player. Whatever you want to call him. So, firstly, happy freaking birthday. 200 episodes, boys. Not sure if that's a birthday, a milestone, like anniversary. Call it what you want.
It's a milestone.
200 is a banging number. Sorry for the background noise. Just wanted to try and get this message in. Working late, so can't catch
We appreciate
the live show today. Absolutely
Oh, sorry.
gutted, or as I like to call it, garbadored. Anyway, lads, be serious, be real for a minute. Thank you very much for the last 200 episodes. I know I was late to the party. I think joined about 150, but I still
With us a year,
absolutely
yeah.
love every single one of it. Little idea, future episodes, get your listeners on, boys, see what happens. I think that'd be quite fun. If you're ever bored, I don't know if you know.
With a dead week.
I'll help you out. No, just joking. Definitely rather have Saul on. Massive shout out to the Stonehengers that we met at Go World Tour last week. Yeah, boys, happy anniversary.
Oh,
Many more to come. See you later. Bye-bye.
brilliant. Thank you very much,
Thank
Richard.
you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Sending that in.
Absolutely, Rich.
That's amazing.
It is. And yeah, our birthday is in February, but this is definitely a milestone episode. And we'll celebrate again in 300.
300. Jeez.
Years time.
Years.
Milo-
300 years.
Milo will be a little bit less of a fetus.
Still have the jacket.
We'd be just as wise, Ian, or maybe just a little bit wiser.
I would be greyer than I am now, if that's possible.
Goodness me. No, we hope.
Thank you, Rich.
We hope to
Yeah.
keep going for as long as we can definitely muster. That's for sure.
I think we're just getting going, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so. And actually, on the note of getting listeners on, we will, in the course of 2025, resume getting listeners on for games. We enjoyed that.
That was
certainly.
something we trialed this year, and
Yeah.
I think that's definitely coming back.
It's
for
definitely
sure.
a good winner. So we'll be bringing that
Big
back.
success, that. Yeah.
Speaking of good
100%.
winners, wasn't Kitty amazing?
She's still down there, Ian.
I don't know. I think we let her out from the basement, didn't we, when she escaped?
Yeah, when she won. Oh no, when she lost.
She lost. We let her out when she
Then
lost.
she was freed.
Yeah.
We did free her, didn't we?
Yeah. We
did free
I've
her,
just had a
yeah.
mind blank for
I
a minute.
haven't checked
Okay, that's good.
personally.
Check the basement, Whitfield.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for those WhatsApp messages.
There's a lot of talk in the chat about people wanting to go to Japan. Now, Andy said, I'll come to Japan if Mark pays for me. And BJ said, kidnap Mark and bring him to LA in February. I think we've got a soundbite for that, we Milo.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Where are you? It's just labelled plane in all caps.
I ain't getting on no airplane, and that's it.
It'll never get boring either. So, yeah.
It's slowly creeping up and up the soundboard as we add
You'd never
more.
get bored of Mr. T.
Goodness me. I like Nakeem's nod to the movie 300. Episode
Yeah.
300.
This is
Incensed. That will be the intro.
We'll steal that for 300, yes.
Yeah, that will be the intro.
Just send Mark on a boat a few weeks before in advance.
Oh my god.
I'll probably miss Christmas if we did that.
Oh, yeah, we could put Mark in a shipping container and just send him to the port of LA.
Oh my god.
We're there in about a month.
A boat would be a little bit more humane, Ian, but I'm going to put me in a shipping container. That is fine. Shows you my value.
Goodness me. We'll make sure he's got some Christmas
Put some
decorations.
food in it for you.
Jeez.
I'll be back in April.
As it turns out, people have been using the send us a text button on their podcast platform of choice. So thank you very much. We've got 2 here. This one we're picking up just a tad late. This was sent
Just a little late.
on the 10th of November, but we're picking it up now. So it says, hey guys, great podcast as always. Loved it. 5-star. Lots of good info. I have 69 green passes. Lol.
Oh, yeah, we was talking about how many passes we had.
Yes, the Green Pass chat. It says, good news. What? Don't forget, February the 14th is my birthday. Cheers, guys.
And that's from Mike Griffin, Milo, who is actually in the live
There
stream
we
as
go.
we speak.
Mike Griffin in
Yeah.
the chat. Thanks very much for sending that in. And as it turns out, February the 14th is also this podcast's
It
birthday,
is.
I believe.
It
Yes.
is.
That was when our first episode dropped.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And we have got a second message here from Yonkers in New York, actually sent today. Yeah, this is more about maybe a rule that could be introduced into the game of Pokemon Go. Yonkers has messaged us, and thank you for doing so, and said, I have a rule I wish fellow raiders would follow. Wait until everyone finished catching before moving on to the next raid. I am constantly left behind and cannot walk and catch. Happy anniversary. I agree. Passed. Motion passed. Done.
Or you could just go with Wafu rules. If it's not shiny or a hundo, you move on.
Oh, Ian, you sounded so professional then. Wafu raiding. Let's do the Wafu. Oh, Ian, I've heard that saying in a long time.
It's been a while. Pre-pandemic, in fact.
I miss those days.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Not the pandemic days. The Wafu elements.
Goodness me.
I like that.
We'll have a training camp so people can walk and catch because it's an art.
You do have a training camp. You help lower level trainers. We
It's
know
an art
this.
form.
Yeah.
But as we said, thank you so much for the WhatsApp messages, and thank you so much for the fan mail through the podcast platforms. You can keep doing that. The socials and methods to do so are found in the episode info, and we listed them at the top of the show. Undoubtedly, we're going to list them at the tail end of the show as well. However, boys, we haven't done this in 2 years, not since episode 100, where we did a thing. Well, we are going to play this video element.
Oh!
Yes, we are finally able to look back at the great, the good, and the rubbish from our podcast history, from episode 100 to 199.
Abruptly cut off.
Yeah, it just stopped.
Oh, you scripted this. Well done, Whitfield. We've picked some categories, and each of us has given a nomination. Voting was on X and YouTube. Yes, 2 platforms. Well done, Whitfield. That took a little bit of working out and a lot of mathematics on your part.
Don't even.
So let's hope the results are accurate.
No, shout out to my other half, Marta, for helping with them, because honestly, my brain was fried.
It doesn't take a lot, does it?
No.
But anyway, well, we've put 12 categories out to vote, but I think Milo snuck an extra one in, which you'll hear right at the end. So let's see what you voted for in the 2024 Incensed Podcast Awards.
Here we go then. Ooh. Starting at the beginning.
Good place to start.
Yeah, well, good award ceremony start, I think, right at the start, at the beginning. So we've got the first award. And the first award is for the best intro of Incensed. Between episodes 100 and 199. Ooh. Just to clarify that again. Between those numbers. So we have got the nominations. And the nominations are as follows. First nomination is for episode 175, titled Shiny La Vesta, Gumi Conde Review, and Madrid.
On this week's show, Ian has finished faffing around with famous footballers. Mark has dribbled his way to a custom Pokestop, and I finished another Aperol Spritz with crab brawlers on the beach. Welcome back to the Incensed Podcast, people. We have the trio here for you today. The man who helped Professor Willow make shiny Gumi sushi over the weekend, Masterful 27. The man who is now known as Crocodile Dundee of Grantham. It's Ian Waterfall. And the man who will be spelunking the coves of Italy this weekend. It's me, PoGoMiloUK.
We don't need to know what you'll be doing this weekend.
Boys, how are you going? How are you
Too
doing?
much information, TMI.
Too much information, girlfriends.
Oh,
we don't need
you're
that.
spelunking, Whitfield.
There you go.
So in sync, that's all I'm going to say.
In sync.
In sync. Second nomination is for episode 179, and that was Roasting on Randall's Island, Go Fest, and New York City.
This week on the Incense Podcast, Whitfield and myself drive on a golf cart.
We get picked up.
Well, yeah, we didn't get to drive it, but
I wish we did.
I raid like a lunatic.
And once again, he gets all the shinies, and I get sweet FA.
Welcome back to the Incensed Podcast for episode 179. And we are currently, much like last year, sat in the Niantic area.
Neighbourhood,
that's it. Thank you, Ian. With an orange umbrella, thankfully, to provide some shade from this scorching heat.
There we go. And the third nomination for the first award was episode 181, titled Populio Conde, New Safari Events and Natural Disasters.
This week on Incense Podcast, Milo contemplates leaving Ealing, then reconsiders, then contemplates again. Mark gushes about a seal, and I mix things up. Welcome back to Incense Podcast. This is episode 181. I'm Ian Waterfall, and with me, as always, we have Masterful 27 and the man who lives on 7 Pokestops, PoGoMiloUK YT.
Still do. It's written in white and green.
How you doing? You've just seen that we had an extra line on our intros.
He's changed mine to the Seal Father by all accounts, Ian. But anyway,
well, you know, we know you like blowing bubbles. Yeah, I do need to correct myself on that one because it's a sea lion, not a seal, but they're close enough.
Anyway, so we're going to announce the winner for the first award. It was close, actually, but the winner with 48.7% of the vote goes to episode 179, which was Roasting on Randall's Island, Go Fest in New York City. Brilliant.
Well picked,
Great
Marky,
choice.
for that one.
Yeah,
well
intro.
picked indeed. Now, this is a returning award. The Common Sense Award. The host who stated the most obvious thing. So, the nominations are episode 163 is myself talking about Weather Week and its awfulness.
You are fundamentally screwed on this event because of whatever the weather is decided in the cell that you happen to be playing in. And from where I was sat and playing, it was windy most of the time. So all I saw was swablu 24/7. And it was just constant. And I know when we read out the article, they said like, oh, the specific spawns dependent on the weather in game. And it's like, on paper, that sounds really good. But in practice, it's really annoying.
Now, there's a bit of deja vu here because our second nomination is from episode 163. Ian trashes Weather Week 2024.
Ian, make it sound not so bad, please.
It was an absolutely pathetic event. Whoever came up with this idea really needs a good talking to. What sort of idiot puts a collection challenge with Pokemon that you are going to have to just do like a million tasks to encounter and then fail? Yes, we all managed to get the 3 that were spawning. The Snowy Cast form, I didn't grind it as hard as I could because I actually have a job, Niantic, and I can't go out and do 20 to 30 tasks a day.
I love that.
Yeah.
So good. And the final nomination is from episode 166. Slightly different, but it's Mark's rant about Kanto starters having community days in 2024.
It's not about dismissing Kanto, because we know the game started in Kanto, but we're 8 years on. We should be dropping in just random new ones from generations for the more recent players are coming in. You can put a Bellsprout at a Go Fest still. You can put a Bellsprout in in these events in biomes.
Shiny boosted event like Burmy and whatever.
But community days, it speaks volumes where the Community Day Classic this month has been the better one.
There you go. Speaking truth. It wasn't close. Let's just say that. This was a
really wasn't.
Landslide winner was Mark from episode 166, ranting about Kanto. So, well done, Marky.
And the funny thing is we're still getting Kanto now. It's never going to end.
No, it won't ever end. So, let's have that rant return.
Yes. Well, speak of returning, I think this is actually another returning award.
It is.
Our third award tonight is the Telling It to the Hand Award, which is the host that did the best at explaining that they don't care. And the nominations are Milo on the 2024 Bug Out event from 167.
I mean, I'll give this event one thing, is that it's consistently bad in practice as well as on paper when we read it last week. So that's good. The impression that it gave was equal to what we received. Yeah, Bug Out, it's just very dull. You sort of are in the event, you think, I would rather have no event, honestly, instead of this, genuinely. Okay.
So true. Mark on the Ferroseed Incensed Day event from episode 173.
I'm going to make a bold statement, boys.
What?
I think I had a marginally better experience than you boys did, and I didn't play it.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Where's the sound effect? Hang on one moment.
And myself, Ian, on the Magnetic Study event from just a few weeks ago, episode 194. I disagree.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for the first 3 minutes of your speech,
That's
and
fine.
then I'll shush.
I will fight my corner. It was an absolutely atrocious event.
Why was that, Ian?
Because, firstly, yes, I can talk about this as a day one player. I already came into this event, and yes, I know not everyone's been playing the game for nearly 9 years. or 8 years, or whatever it is. I can't even think, because this event melted my mind. I went into this event having like 8 or 9 of each of the shinies that were featured. Minun and Plusle are the most uninspired. Okay, Plusle I'll give a slight pass to, because it's a slightly better. Certainly Plusle is the most mind-numbingly boring Pokemon and mind-numbingly boring shiny in the game. It has no reason, it has no justification for being featured in an event whatsoever, because it's terrible.
I love how you confused yourself.
I was really worried. I hated that event.
I give Plusle a pass, but Plusle is terrible.
Yeah, Minun is terrible. Yeah. Anywho, the winner is, for his rant about episode 167, the bug out event, is Whitfield.
Me.
I listen back to all those, and I feel like I'm more aligned to Ian's rant now about Plusle and Plusle.
Plusle and Plusle, but mine boring.
I don't mind mine, he's got peppermint ears, but
leave mine out.
Plusle's terrible.
Passable. So we're moving on this quite quickly, actually, which is quite fun. So award 4. This is going to the best getting to know you question. There's been a few more of those over the last 99 episodes or so. The first nomination is from episode 128. And the question was, what is one thing that people underestimate about you? Second one, episode 181. If you had to be present during a natural disaster, what would you choose? And more recently, from episode 194, which is I think the same episode that we had a Minun rant on, if you could get rid of one Pokemon, which would it be and why? I kind of just cheated a little bit and kept it Pokemon themed. And Pokemon themed won the day, because the winner was episode 194 with if you get rid of one Pokemon, which would it be and why? Brooksish. There you go. No spoilers.
Yes, there you go. There was a landslide on that one. So our 5th award, this is a new one because, of course, during 2024, we had listeners, game contestants joining us for the shows. So we have 3 nominations. We had Chicken Chaser 89, who was the first one to give it a crack. So thanks very much for joining us all those weeks ago. Our second nomination is Highbone, who joined us, won, and then ran the Northern Pub Quiz.
He did well.
And our final nomination is Kitty Pokemon's Lot with her 5-win streak, decimating.
Very well.
So we decided to give this award to somebody who has had a better win streak than any of us across 4 years of this show. Mm-hmm. The best game contestant goes to Kitty Pokemon's a Lot. So congratulations.
It's well deserved. Before we move on to the next one, I do want to just say thank you to everybody that has jumped on live games with us. We had to narrow it down for these nominations, but everyone that's taken part in a game, you've been amazing.
100%, and we will be doing this more going forward.
Yeah, that's live events as well, isn't it? As well as the ones on the show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Love you all.
Yeah. Now, this one's landed firmly on my doorstep. Wonder why. Award number 6 is the best pub quiz question on Incensed podcast. Now, as was pointed out by Milo the other week, done the fewest pub quizzes across the 4 years of this show. But the nominations for the best question are Mark with this question from episode 150.
Where do Christmas gonks come from? And a Christmas gonk is one of those festive little gnomes with a Christmas hat on.
What, like
beard.
Milo?
Yeah, a bit like Milos without the hat.
Yeah, always the beard.
But they're festive things anyway. Do they come from A, Scandinavia? Do they come from B, Central Europe?
I was going to say Germany for everything.
And do they come from C, South America?
Oh, there you go.
Ooh. Our next nomination is Milo, with this question from episode 158.
Los Angeles has many peculiar laws, but which one of these 3 is not true? So false, boys. Is it A, it is illegal to lick toads? B, it is illegal for dogs to mate within 500 yards of a church? Or C, it's illegal to ride a horse in a swimming pool unless it's for charity?
And the final nomination for this award is me, from episode 132. On average, and I stress average, how many times a year does the Empire State Building, where we're currently situated, get struck by lightning?
Right
Is it
now.
A, an average of 13 times a year, B, an average of 23 times a year, or C, an average of 33 times a year? And I stress, average. This is not exact. How many times did I say average there?
An average amount.
As many times as windows in the Shard, according to
12.
Milo Ian.
He said a few more times.
12. 12.
Anyway, all good questions, but the award goes to, and this is by a country mile, 55.9% the winner got on these votes. And it's Milo with...
Los Angeles has many peculiar laws, but which one of these three is not true? So false, boys. Is it A, it is illegal to lick toads? B, it is illegal for dogs to mate within 500 yards of a church? Apparently, or yes. C, it's illegal to ride a horse in a swimming pool unless it's for charity? You know the tour 25, boys.
Thinking back, how can a dog know how far it is from a church?
It's down to the owner, I'd imagine.
How would the owner know how far it is?
Get the measuring tape out. Come on.
So, we go on to Award 7, and we're staying down the pub quiz route for this one. Award 7 is the One Too Many Award, and this goes to the most inaccurate pub quiz answer.
Ooh.
So, we have the following nominations. First one's for myself for episode 158. Annually. So that could be any Richter scale.
As opposed to anally
tremor,
for the Ring of Fire.
Any.
Yeah, for the Ring of Fire, yeah. I'm going to go...
Yeah, we weren't quite family friendly then, weren't we?
85.
I don't have a clue. 85.
Now, I think I saw this on a news thread today, somewhere LA or that West Coast area. There was something like 10 just today.
Oh, flipping heck. It's going to be like 3,000 or something
both of you are
ridiculous.
very far off because it's approximately 10,000.
Oh, wow.
I forgot that clip. I love that. It goes, there's about 10
Today.
Oh, no. We've got Milo's episode 170.
Right, so question 4. What's the name of Sunderland AFC's stadium? Is it A, St James's Park, B, Stadium of Light, or C, Graves Park?
Football and North. Two things I don't know anything about. So I'll pick A for it, just because I haven't picked A so far.
A for St James's Park.
Sure.
Oh!
Reactioning all of you.
And we've got Ian with episode 150. Who brought the Christmas tree to England? So, was it A, Prince Louis? Was it B, Lord Chambers? Or was it C, Queen Charlotte? Ian.
Have not got a Scooby, so I'm just going to go A, Lewis.
A for Ian. John Lewis. Cool. Play that back. I just John Lewis. Oh dear. Well, this one was actually a bit closer than a couple of the other ones that we've had tonight, but narrowly was my effort at trying to answer how many earthquakes occur annually in LA. Very, very, very close at it. 42% of the vote. So, yeah, John Lewis. I like that. I like listening to the Christmas music, actually.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's been nice.
Yeah, I think we'll have to bring it back in a couple of weeks.
Definitely will have to. Right. The next award is for the best episode title of Incensed podcast from episode 100 to 199. The nominations are episode 170, Glitched Baguette League, Bound Sweet Community Day, and A Crime for a Crime. Another nomination, episode 147, A Trio of Translucent Testes, LA Baby, December Info, and Timeless Travels.
I think I know what's one already.
Winner!
And the final nomination is episode 179, Roasting on Randall's Island, Go Fest, New York City. And there was quite a lot of traction on this one, which is lovely to see. But the winner with, more than 50% of the votes on this was episode 147, a trio of translucent testes. You put that in the title, it's a winner. LA Baby, December Info, and Timeless Travels.
Award number 9 takes us to the beginning of every show. For a long time now, we've been doing cold open, so we thought we'd look at the best cold open of Incensed Podcast, episodes 100 to 199. And the nominations are episode 122, Go Fest News, Donut Bear, and Search for Gold review.
Sweet ass.
You stop doing that, please, Milo.
No chance in hell. Why, Mark?
I need JT to just try and do it as well.
Got some popsicles in my cellar. Thank you. Welcome back to the Incest Podcast.
I can't.
Your turn, mate.
I can't do the whistle. I will say the whistliness, that's hard to do. But
Milo's good at the whistle.
Yeah, no, he's good at that one.
It took me years to perfect.
Hi, kids.
I can do a decent Kermit the Frog, but that's pretty much the only thing I can do.
Completely change this podcast up and have like different characters appearing.
Welcome to the Incense Podcast.
So, hey, it's great you could join us.
Oh, hey, Kermit.
It's time for the shiny of the week.
Oh, I love it.
And now it's time for Mark's poll.
Oh dear, the old days. Episode 178, Shiny Ducklet, Concrete Jungle, and New York. Even YouTube saying, start sending us your video from your stream.
We are.
We're trying, YouTube. We're trying.
YouTube, be patient.
Behave.
Behave.
Okay, the YouTube stream is now
If
live.
Austin Powers tried to live stream to YouTube.
Yeah. Behave.
Behave.
That's like Borat trying to do it. Behave, yes. Borat, international super spy.
I missed you, our bar side.
Oh, boy.
Don't worry.
We'll see you in a matter of days, Barside.
They will. I won't.
Mark will be in spirit.
I will be in spirit. I will be.
Nice.
Hey, Nick opened a gift of mine today. That was nice of him.
Oh, I thought it opened one of mine, but it didn't. It appears that it just saved my gift.
You were seeing things.
Now I got a message. One, they sent me the gift,
Mesmerised.
and I went and like, no, I've still got to send gift. Okay, so it just saved the gift but didn't open it. Oh, that's still true to this day. And the final nomination. Still not. Nick, what are you playing at, man? Open it, please. The final nomination is episode 169, May Pigo Update, Natalie Portman, Ronan Keating, and Jar Jar Binks.
This is a long one. Riverside don't measure internet connection in megabits per second. They measure it in...
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Potato water.
PPS, whatever it is, potatoes per second.
Potatoes per second.
Potatoes per second.
Oh, what a night. Mark's mic is completely cream crackered, but is now working. 2 people steering the Riverside chat, and...
Well, the chat's vibrating like it's from a...
And the chat is vibrating like it's that of Ann Summers.
Sponsorship?
I totally lost Mark again then.
I got the oh.
That's all I heard. I got Sue said Mark sounds like Max Headroom, if you remember him.
No, that was before Max. I'm too young. Is that what reference is that to?
Max Headroom was
MTV,
from like the
wasn't
80s. It was like a head, like it was all like computer generated and used to stutter.
It was.
If you Google it,
Yeah, was that on
if you
MTV,
Google it,
was it?
you'll find it on YouTube.
Yeah, it was good. Max Headroom was. Yeah, it was 80s, wasn't it? Yeah.
What are you opening there, Ian? Oh, that's quite it. Maz, episode 4, A New Hope. That is very accurate, actually.
What am I doing? Talking to myself. Look, I must have a star on my door.
The background matches your shirt, Ian, on that.
Because I thought that Ian's shirt was the same. Ian's shirt.
It is a long one, isn't it?
Yeah, God.
Wow, that was a long one. The winner of the Best Cold Open of Incensed podcast, episode 100 to 199, is episode 178.
Way.
We're not going to play again, are we? No, it's not.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
JT in it, wasn't it? Was it? No, that was the other one, wasn't it? Which one won that? 178.
It was in New York. Shiny.
Behave. It was behave. Behave. We're nearly there. Don't worry, listeners, if you're still here. We're on to award number 10. And this is the IRS award. Don't know what that stands for.
It doesn't stand for Internal Revenue Service.
Right. But it's the ERS Award for the most fraudulent pub quiz host. That's host. And these are the nominations. So we've got from episode 109, Mark gives Ian the answer to the tiebreaker. That's fair. I like that, actually.
Are we talking miles or kilometres here, by the way?
Miles, Ian. And Ian.
Miles. Jesus.
Ian.
Hello.
If you go 238,000 miles, you'll be bob on.
Who's it next? Who's going next?
No! Ian hasn't gone yet. Guys, take your headphones off.
He hasn't gone. So close.
No,
didn't even ask for the answer.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Did you just give me the answer, by the way?
Tiny one. Because it'd be funny.
Oh, I feel bad doing that.
Don't, it'd be funny though. Go close to it. That'd be funny.
235,000 miles.
235,000 miles. Lovely. That sounds worse as time has passed. That's horrific. That's pretty fraudulent. The second,
I would say that's the most.
That is the most. The second one was episode 163, where Milo asked, "What is the fastest whale species alive today?"
I think we edited this down a little bit from my rant.
Question 5. What is the fastest whale species alive? And whale species, not actual, just whales. I'm afraid neither of you get a point again. It was the common dolphin. It can be clocked at top speed, apparently of 37 miles an hour.
Common dolphin?
Common
Fundamentally flawed.
Common dolphin. And
what is the biggest insect alive today? It's the dog.
It's the dog. And finally, episode 182, where Ian, yes, good old Ian, told AI to generate an Incensed podcast pub quiz. What could go wrong?
See, before he plays the soundbite, I object to this one because it's not fraudulent. I asked AI to create a quiz. I didn't manipulate a fraudulent question.
Boy, Ian, don't get the IRS involved.
I didn't have a lot to choose from.
Got a winner. So, which episode featured a collaboration with Lord podcast hosts Ken and Adam? Well, it wasn't Adam, we know that, so AI's wrong there. To discuss the state of the Pokemon Go community, and the answer is indeed A, episode 25.
Wrong. That was Reversal's guest appearance.
I miss Reversal.
Oh.
So, how much AI can be
Load
trusted?
Up was episode 15.
So I think we can agree that AI still has a way to go before it's reliable.
I love it as my little snippet. I miss Reversal at the end. Well, defends as much as he did then. The winner, it's quite an overwhelming winner here with over 50% of the vote.
Oh my God.
There we go.
It's Ian, you fraudulent person, Ian. Getting AI to do your dirty work for you.
Oh my goodness.
Ian.
Congratulations,
I'm going to have
Ian.
to take it on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
more.
everyone. Thank you.
Let's do more AI quizzes.
I think
fantastic.
we'll have to actually in year 5.
Yeah.
So
the next award is for the best new game added to the Incensed podcast during episodes 100 to 199. And we only have 3 nominations, but they are Shiny Happy Pokemon, What the Ducklet Remixed, and Name That Pokemon Reversed, or Reversal Edition. Now, this actually got the most votes out of everything on socials, so thank you very much, everybody. But, like a lot of these, it was a landslide winner for Shiny Happy Pokemon.
Play the jingle.
We'll play the jingle.
Fantastic choice.
The best one.
Good game.
It's the only new game, technically. The other ones are new versions.
So the official final award, but we know there's a sneaky 13th, is the best episode of Incensed. Episodes 100 to 199. And the nominations are episode 176, Go Fest Madrid on location, live games and chatting with friends.
Good
one. Episode 141, live City Safari Barcelona and Halloween event. Okay. And episode 100, How We Make Incensed and Twinkling Fantasies. And again, this one was a landslide for the winner. The winner is, it's no surprise, episode 176, Go Fest Madrid on location, live games and chatting with friends.
Definitely a deserving winner.
We spoke highly about that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Quite a lot, actually.
That was a good one. That was a really good one, Madrid was, yeah.
That's definitely one of my favourite episodes from the last 100, that's for sure. And that is the 12 awards, but we have a lucky or unlucky number 13. And this is known as the Soundboard Award. Over our many years of running on Incensed, we've had quite a few issues with the media board that we put into our podcast over the years, things not working and not loading, it being delayed. However, nothing comes close to what happened on episode 144. Peeps, buckle up and enjoy the farmyard.
This was when it looped,
Do you have
wasn't
an
it?
opinion, either of you, of this? I don't know.
I thought you said Pokemon.
Oh my
Goat.
God.
That is one scary-ass goat.
That's when a shiny runs from you.
What are we doing to the soundboard? We've got all these random animal noises on there now.
I don't know, but do you know what that sound does remind me of? Is when you had something wrapped around your neck. Is that
Frozen.
That sounds like a sheep machine gun.
I'm not even clicking
The sheep gun. Listeners, I would just like to apologise. This is Incensed Podcast. The chaos that has descended upon my two colleagues. They've both lost their minds.
Hawking here in the chat just says, "What have I just tuned into?"
Congrats and
The volume's turned down on the soundboard. The volume's turned off on the soundboard. It's finished.
What the hell happened there?
I clicked on the goat once.
It went through every known sheep sound effect there is on the planet.
Oh, I'm crying.
I know me and Ian are like crying tears, and Marlo's just like, "This is so unprofessional, boys. Can we sort this out, please?" I don't want to hear this shit.
The things I turned the volume on the soundboard down like straight away, and it still kept playing at full volume, even though there's no volume on the soundboard.
Disobedient.
Jesus, that was funny. That was. Do you want me to let you guys into a little secret?
Well, let the listeners know, because we sussed it out.
Secret, yeah.
You two would have sussed out in post-edit production,
Exactly.
wouldn't you?
But we didn't want to let the magic loose.
Well, we don't know who did it. So, yeah, there we go.
Riverside.
Riverside has got some mysterious animals
I
involved.
think we had a saboteur that night, if I'm honest.
A little prankster.
Yeah.
I knew you two, when you were looking, looked at your little sound bars and gone, but there's nothing for my feed. And Ian would have gone, there's nothing for my feed, but on Mark's feed.
Mark's is just off the scale.
Yeah, you couldn't escape that one, if we're honest. You may as well let it out in the open now.
I literally had like a medley of sheep sounds playing on a YouTube video down my microphone. So it was the soundboard. It's the high pitch one that makes me laugh. It's like, that's not on our soundboard.
Most of them weren't thinking back.
I can imagine you go, why has Mark's got all this noise on it?
Isolate.
When we're recording, you don't realise. Only when we actually put it onto Premiere Pro and we came to edit that we saw your soundbar was crazy.
It's definitely one of the better pranks we've had in the show's quality.
I just about we were all literally just out of breath laughing through it. It was just so funny. It's just...
My cheeks hurt right now.
Me too.
But that does finally wrap up our award ceremony for episode 200. So we'll see what happens when we return with episode 300 and what kind of crazy things we concoct for the next award ceremony.
Well, yeah, because we pledged after episode 100 that we wasn't doing another award ceremony for at least 100 weeks because of the amount of work, clipping, uploads, votes, everything to actually make these happen. I've got to take my hat off, and I'm going to say this now live. Milo has done the whole award ceremony himself without any help from Mark or me. We gave a little bit of input into the nominations.
You did your nominations. You did your choices.
You did most of mine for me. I think I put that to it. So, Milo, thank you for that, because that has been a great recap of the last 100 weeks.
Thank you, Milo. I did all my nominations, but you still did all the work. So thank you so very much.
You saved me extra, Marky. Thank you.
I did two. I think maybe three.
That was a lovely playback, though, of those last 100 episodes, and I think for us, some good memories there.
Definitely, we've had a lot of fun and larks and some really, really good moments over the previous 100 episodes to this.
Yeah, and I think going into 2025, we're just going to capitalise on that and have a lot more. We're there. We've done everything we wanted to do tonight, but we couldn't finish the show without looking at everybody's favourite section of this show.
Shines of the week.
Yes, it is everyone's favourite section, the part that gets you, the amazing listeners, involved. Gives us an excuse to keep the wonderful hashtag Shyness of the Week trending across our social media platforms. So much, in fact, that we've probably got one each this week. But we are following a big event from last week where everybody seemed to be getting some amazing shyness, but it has carried on into this week. And I would like to start with a post on X from DJ Noodle 3PJI. Does 2 free raids at Universal City Walk on a whim. Hashtag back to back. Hashtag Shyness of the Week. A couple of sets of sparkle emojis and a laughy face with a tear on its eye. Yeah, shiny Zamazenta. Followed by a shiny Electi, whatever it's called.
Electi Reggie.
Reggie Alecki with lovely silver hoops on it. Well done. Back to back. And why not?
Yeah, great one.
But he did a third one and it wasn't shiny.
Love City Walk.
Fabulous.
This one is a little bit different. It says, this is from Twitter, it says, not your typical hashtag Shinies of the Week, but congrats to Incensed Podcast for your 200th episode. You boys are always fun, entertaining, and a highlight of the week. From Randy Sue, Viator12, who has drawn a beautiful picture of a shiny Trico Sewaddle and the shiny great white shark. It's no longer great or white, but all good.
I'll take Carvana. It's like the baby.
Carvana.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely beautiful drawing, and it says, congrats, Incensed Boys, on it. So it has to be props to Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Randy.
Definitely. I saw the artwork earlier. Thank you so much.
It looks great. It's great. We're going to save that. We are going to save that. Use it
fabulous.
somewhere. And our next Shiny of the Week is from, well, this week is called Pokey Evo Keck. Saul. I think it's been called that for a while now, actually. GG's on your community down in Bournemouth. Message says, I'm a little late to the party, but hashtag Shines of the Week for this absolute massive blue boy with an I, my favourite Pokemon, and it was from Go Wild Global. It's the shiny Snorlax with the leather jacket. That was from our campfire group, and GG saw great shiny. I love that shiny.
A quality one. We talked endlessly last week about how to chase it.
Yes.
Fantastic. And we're going to wrap up this section with one from our Patreon Discord in the hashtag Shinies of the Week channel. None other than David Silverman has managed to say, first Dino Raid, and he's nabbed the Shinamax, should I say, Machop, on day one of this new cup of tea season event. Well done, Silverman.
Yes, well done, Silverman. I think we mentioned it briefly earlier. We alluded to it earlier.
We're always saying well done, Silverman, aren't we? Let's face it. He
gets a lot of stuff.
He gets a lot of
He's a
stuff.
lucky guy.
There we go. Shyness of the week done on this landmark episode. And normally I'd say another round is complete, but it feels like we need to be a little bit more reflective after this one. That's a big one, 200. And we appreciate everybody who has either been with us from the beginning or who has picked a point to join our journey. And hopefully you're still with us listening to this show. Thank you to everybody who joined us on the live stream tonight. It was lovely to open it up on YouTube. As we've said, we will do more with interactions with people as we head into 2025. We've got fun things planned for the show based around the staple parts that give it what it is. But yeah, it has been really special to record this one. And I do enjoy these as we all do. And we've said this before tonight. It is nice to do something a little bit different to commemorate a very worthy landmark. Well, we hope you did enjoy it anyway.
All that besides.
Yeah, all that besides. We hope you have enjoyed the podcast. And we do ask this for our listeners to the show. I hope we've got some first-time ears as well. But please consider hitting that follow, subscribe button across our social media platforms. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube. Please do that. It will deliver our podcast straight to your devices to make it a little bit easier for you to pick up the latest episode when it drops every Sunday. We would love to have a review from you all. That would be very, very appreciative. We'll be very appreciative of that, as I should say. 5-star reviews are always the best ones, but no, give us what you feel we're worth. And if you leave us a written review, we'll probably read it out.
Absolutely. Tonight was a car crash. Give us like 1 or 2 or 3.
We'll read it out.
Give us what we deserve.
Read it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've said before, we did talk about it earlier in the show, please follow us across our social media platforms as well. That's X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Campfire, Discord for the exclusive Patreon access. We have a fun family of people to talk to, as well as our email address, which was given at the beginning of the show, contact@incensedpodcast.com, or use our WhatsApp number, +44 759 269 5696 for voice messages or text.
Or threads.
Or direct messages on our podcast platforms. There's a lot of ways, and most of them are at Incensed Podcasts that allow you to keep updated with all the latest stuff.
Absolutely, Mark. And it's usually at this time of the show that we like to thank everybody for listening, and certainly everybody that's been in the live stream today. It's been nice to see I think we peaked at about 55, 60 people, which for saying that we don't normally do these live, very impressive. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for listening if you're listening to the polished, edited version, whether that be on YouTube, because Milo's got his work cut out for the rest of this week, or
you're welcome,
audio on any of our podcast platforms that Mark just mentioned. But we also like to thank those of you who support us via Patreon, because it is you that allow us to keep, and I'm stealing Chris's line now, the digital lights on, or in Milo's case, the actual physical lights on. Quick pledge. But thank you so much to everyone that is on our Patreon. If you do want to look into it, you can find us at patreon.com/Incensed Podcast. We have tiers starting at $1.50 a month, which gives Discord access among a few other benefits. And as you get further up the scale, it gives you live recordings and much, much more. Not going to bore you to death with that now, but we do want to say thank you to everyone that supports us on our bronze and silver tiers. It means the world to us. Thank you for being here. We really, genuinely do appreciate it so very, very much. But those of you on our
gold
tier, we like to thank you by name, and we're going to do this in the good old-fashioned tag team. And we would like to thank JB,
Clifford Mert,
Kerry and Zachary,
Paul, Barside 2,
Mandy Croft,
Monsieur Mossam,
and Dean DHL for being here, supporting us, and allowing us to do our thing. And a lot of you, as we said in the previous weeks, we have met in person. We really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. But
absolutely,
it doesn't stop there, and this is where I'm going to embarrass Sue now. We do like to thank our 2 admins. Sue, HermesNinja, Thank you for everything you do for us. It really is appreciated.
It is my great pleasure to help.
And thank your cat as well for being there for the whole show.
She's well behaved.
That's Francesco for the night, I think. I would also... looks a bit like Francesco, actually.
Looks like
what are you doing, Sue? But we do also want to thank I Am Prius. He's not with us tonight because he's at a Christmas party. You know what? Can't blame the guy. But thank you, Francesca, for everything you do for the podcast as well.
Absolutely.
But that brings the special, different, unusual, completely out there episode 200 to an end. And as I've said, thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week for...
good news.
What?
There's still a spotlight hour to happen. Next Tuesday, it is Tragic Awfulness with Murkrow on December the 10th, and 2 times Catch XP. Good luck.
And
on that 200th bombshell, we got there. I think we can say we hope to see you all next week
for episode 201.
201 in the hands of the 27.
Yes.
I choose you!